The story begins with a lonely girl named Bryn, living all by herself in a quiet, isolated town, where everything feels peaceful on the surface, but strangely hollow beneath it. Her house is old but beautiful, filled with small decorations, handcrafted dresses, and nostalgic items that show she once had dreams of a happy life. She spends her mornings sewing, cleaning, cooking, and writing long letters to someone named Maud. These letters reveal that Bryn has no one left. She talks to her house, moves quietly, and avoids the world as if she knows the world wants nothing to do with her. Every time she steps out for groceries, people step aside. Some glare at her with a deep hatred. Others simply look away like she doesn't exist. Children whisper behind her. Adults refuse to meet her eyes. Something about her past has carved a permanent scar between her and the rest of this town. And even though she tries to smile and stay hopeful, there is a grief in her eyes that she tries hard to hide. At night, she eats alone at her small dining table and dances alone in her living room, as if trying to create even a small moment of joy in her lonely world. She keeps a picture frame of her childhood friend, the same friend she writes letters to, even though that friend is gone. When she sleeps, her home is silent. But tonight, something changes. A strange, rattling sound begins inside the kitchen. A small glass falls and rolls. A chair scrapes the floor. Bryn wakes with a jolt, her breath trembling. She hears soft clicking sounds, like something communicating in a language she cannot understand. When she walks toward the kitchen, the atmosphere becomes heavy. Shadows stretch unnaturally. The lights flicker as if the electricity itself is afraid. Then she sees it. A tall, thin, gray creature with long limbs, massive black eyes, and skin that reflects the moonlight. It moves with slow, calculated motions, almost curious, almost predatory. The moment she gasps, its head snaps toward her with unnatural speed. Bryn panics and rushes backward, knocking over a chair. The creature raises its hand, and something invisible grabs her by the chest, pulling her toward itself as if she were weightless. She fights, kicking wildly, clawing at the floor. Her desperation becomes adrenaline. She grabs a sharp metal object and swings it with all her strength. It connects with the creature's head. The alien screams with a distorted, otherworldly sound and collapses to the floor. Bryn stares at the lifeless body, shaking uncontrollably, barely believing what she has done. She backs away from the corpse and begins to cry, not only from fear, but from the overwhelming realization that nothing in her world will ever be the same again. But she quickly learns that killing one alien means nothing, because aliens don't come alone. The next morning, Bryn drives to town, hoping someone will help her. But the moment she steps into the police station, the sheriff looks at her with bitter hostility. His wife, standing nearby, glares at Bryn with raw hatred in her eyes. No one listens to her. No one even asks what happened. Instead, they treat her like she's the enemy, like she deserves the terror that happened to her. Their silence is colder than any alien invasion. As she walks out, people stare with disgust. Some whisper, "She deserves it." And then we realize the truth. Years ago, Bryn accidentally killed her best friend Maud during a childish fight. It was an accident, but the town never forgave her. And Bryn has been punishing herself for it ever since, living in isolation, carrying guilt heavy enough to break most people. She returns home with no plan, no help, and no idea what comes next. The sun sets, darkness returns, and with it, the aliens. Strange lights appear in the sky. A deep humming sound begins, vibrating the walls. The earth trembles. In the distance, beams of blinding white light descend over houses. People begin floating into the air as UFOs silently pull them upward like puppets. Bryn hides inside her house as more clicking sounds echo around her. Something walks across her roof. Another creature peers in through her window. Another floats inches above the ground outside her door. The aliens aren't just visiting, they're hunting. One of them enters her house again, Not tall like the first, but small, fast, and insect-like, crawling on walls with disturbing agility. As Bryn hides under her bed, the creature tilts its head, listening. Its fingers twitch, scanning the air like sensors. Bryn tries to stay perfectly still, but a single breath gives her away. The alien reaches under the bed, its long arm stretching to grab her, but she rolls away and escapes into the hallway. The creature drags her backward using telekinesis, lifting her into the air. She chokes, trying to breathe. But then her eyes catch a lamp. She swings it desperately and breaks the alien's concentration. The telekinetic hold drops. She collapses, gasping for air. Before she can recover, the creature forces a parasite toward her mouth. A long, worm-like organism that squirms with terrifying intelligence. Bryn clutches her throat, fighting to keep it out. She smashes it against the floor repeatedly until it's dead. She cries, not just from fear, but from the trauma of having no one to depend on. No family, no friends, no town to help her. Even in the apocalypse, she is alone. The next night, she tries to flee into the woods, but the sky tears open with the arrival of the mothership. A massive UFO covers the forest, its bright beam locking onto her body. She is pulled upward like a doll, floating helplessly. She tries to grab branches, rocks, anything, but nothing stops the pull. The moment she enters the ship, everything goes silent. She wakes in a white, endless void. Gravity disappears. Her body floats. Strange, shadowy figures surround her. Different sizes, different forms, all watching her like a specimen. The aliens lift her mind out of her body, forcing her to relive her worst memory. The day she accidentally killed Maud. Bryn falls to her knees, crying, screaming without sound, drowning in guilt. The aliens watch carefully, reading her emotions. But instead of killing her, they let her go. She opens her eyes and finds herself lying on the grass outside her house. She looks around in confusion. The town seems peaceful again, but something feels wrong, terribly wrong. People walk around smiling, waving, acting unusually cheerful. Their bodies move stiffly. Their eyes look empty. Because they aren't human anymore. They are hosts, controlled by the parasites. Their minds replaced with alien consciousness. Bryn walks through this new world, and for the first time, no one glares at her. No one hates her. No one avoids her. For the first time, she is accepted. Not by humans, but by aliens. Bryn sits outside her house that evening, watching UFOs float calmly above the town like silent guardians. The world is no longer the world she knew. Humanity has fallen. The aliens have taken over everything. Every person she once knew is now a puppet, a smiling, empty shell. And yet, Bryn smiles. Because for the first time, she no longer feels alone. Her nightmares are gone. Her past no longer haunts her. Her guilt no longer consumes her. She dances in the street, surrounded by the alien-controlled townsfolk who smile and greet her without judgment. She has found peace in a world completely ruled by the monstrous beings from the stars. The irony is cruel and beautiful. The girl who was rejected by humans is finally accepted by aliens. The movie ends with Bryn dancing while the UFO hovers like a new moon above her town, shining cold light over a world that has surrendered. There is no resistance, no war left, no survivors hiding in fear. Everyone belongs to the invaders, except Bryn. She is the only free human left, but also the only one who feels safe. And the final thought is chilling. Maybe the aliens spared her not because she was strong, but because she was already broken. A heart filled with regret, kindness, and loneliness was the one thing they couldn't control. So they let her live. And in their world, she finally finds the acceptance she never got in her own.